What up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to Pilar's Corner. I'm so excited because guess what? It is gonna be a new moon in Capricorn. And I just have to explain to you guys, like, if you haven't already watched my January episode, please do so. It's really good. And if you didn't know already, if you're new to the show, then please understand this is a place for people who are spiritual, but want to be productive. They want to do the work. Okay. They want to do the work, not just in internally intrinsic and spiritually productive ways, but also like have a hustle mindset, are trying to do right by their mental health, and also really interested in the logical portion of just how to approach being human. Okay. Meeting ourselves where we're at and setting ourselves up for success, manifesting a sustainable sense of success. Okay. Very important. That's why we're here ultimately. Right. So if you didn't know, now you know. With that being said, let's get into this new moon in Capricorn because this January, if you haven't already felt it, there's a pressure. Obviously, it's the beginning of the year. I mean, let's not lie to ourselves here. It's the beginning of the year, and so it is very common for there to be a lot of pressure to be productive at the beginning of the year. But how many times have you started a new year and literally been like, well, it's the third day of the year and I'm definitely not going to do any of my resolutions, right? There's something different about this year. And what is really cool is the planetary placements right now. There are so many planets in Capricorn. And Capricorn is this energy that, it's very easy to be judgmental about Capricorn because Capricorn can come off as a very judgmental sign and be kind of elitist and want things to be done right and well. And that's because the end goal for Capricorn is vocational purity and vocational excellence, right? That what they're good at is also what they love doing. That's Mecca, right? That's the bee's knees and the golden honeypot. If you can do that, then why would you ever do anything else? Okay. So while we can think of Capricorn as an elitist, they're a bit of a productivity snob. You can think of Capricorn energy as a productivity snob. And for good reason. How else are things going to get done? And that is the Capricorn mindset. Also, okay, Capricorn wants things done to be done well, right? Meaningfully. There needs to be meaning and value. So, a ton of planets in Capricorn. And when I say a ton, let me just read off the list to you. Okay. We have Venus in Capricorn, so the planet of relationships, balance. We have Mars in Capricorn. People say it's the war planet or the conflict planet. I say it's the negotiation planet. Mars is the negotiation planet to me. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Okay, and that's it. But now we have this new moon. Okay. And believe it or not, Capricorn season actually ends when the new moon starts. Okay. So when the new moon happens, it's a new season, baby. It's going to be the end of Capricorn season. And when it's a new moon, it's usually this quiet time. It's very retrospective. It's very resting energy. Okay. Very resting energy. And it's like the calm before the race. So when you train for a marathon, um, you might think like, oh, leading up to the marathon, like you're packing all these miles, days before so that you can. No, 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 no. When you are training for a marathon, you actually increase your physical bank week over week. So you start off maybe doing 5 miles a week, and then doing 7, and then doing 10, and then doing 15, right? A week. And then you start to increase in sessions. So per session, maybe you do a mile a session, and then 3 miles a session, and then 5 miles a session. And then your body starts to have this bank, okay, of this capacity. And then leading up to the event, you actually do what weightlifters call, and training in general, is deload. You actually decrease that load, because you're going to be cashing in. Okay, you're going to be cashing in on your capacity in one session. Say maybe you can do 30 miles in a week, but you're going to be pulling what is it, 22.6 or whatever miles in a session. So you have to make sure that you haven't been using any of that capacity so that it's available to you as a currency. Okay. And that's what's happening with the new moon. The new moon is quiet, and it's that rest period before you now engage and you take off. This is the energy of take a beat, reset. It's possible you've already felt this. I've actually already felt this. You might realize, like, okay, I need to regroup. I need to regroup. But part of that regrouping is not hectic, and it's not, right? It doesn't have all this energy behind it. It's like, let's regroup. Let's take a beat here. Okay. Now, back to what's really interesting and what I really love about this new moon in Capricorn, and also just these planets in Capricorn in general, because these planets are inner planets. So we have outer planets, we have inner planets. We like to think of the inner planets as more representative of kind of like the external and social experience of being human, right? We talked about the negotiation planet, the relationship planet, right? We've got these planets that are basically telling us, like, how are you interacting with the world? Okay. And then your outer planets are much more expansive. They're kind of like more bigger concept planets. And then we have Jupiter. He's kind of this middle point. And Jupiter is an opportunity planet. Why am I bringing up Jupiter? Because Jupiter is conjunct. Okay. Conjunct means like enhancing and really bringing out full power and support. One thing is complementary. It's like, hey, look at us dance together. Another is like, we're gonna alley oop. Okay, we're gonna alley oop. Like, I'm gonna throw the ball to you while you're midair, and it's like slam dunk time. Okay, or it's like, think of the Magnificent Twins or whatever they're called, and I think it's the DC universe. But you're literally bouncing. Your power increases by bouncing off of each other. Okay. With that being said, all of these planets that are in Capricorn and the moon in Capricorn, okay, and the sun has been in Capricorn, all this external, like, okay, how are we going to, right? That mindset of, let's do this, let's do it well. How do we do this well? All of that conjunct the planet of opportunity. But what sign is the planet of opportunity in? It's in Cancer, the planet of emotions. The planet of emotions. Cancer wants you to realize that you are a full spectrum being. Part of being human is being full spectral. And what does that mean? Your emotions. Your emotions are the actual reflection of every single part of you. confusion, sadness, frustration, vengeance, hate, love, right? Just complete selflessness and selfishness. All of those things it's the full spectrum of the human being. And so by embracing all parts of yourself and your full toolkit of resources, think of these things as resources. And when we are curious, genuinely curious about ourselves and who we are and what makes up that package, okay, of this meat suit, we can be incredibly, meaningfully, and valuably productive. So, whatever your goals are for this year or this month or whatever, wherever you're at right now in your mental space, know, know that by embracing your full self and the full spectrum of what you're feeling right now, you're exactly where you're supposed to be as long as you remain genuinely curious to where and what these feelings are coming from and what are they? How would you explain them? How would you describe them, right? Going on that curiosity voyage with yourself, okay? Because that will actually enhance your ability to be productive, okay? And it will complement your relationships, will complement how people see you. It will complement your negotiation leverage, okay? This isn't about masks. This isn't about masks. This is not a time for masking. This is a time for honest, transparent conversations with yourself and with others. And that new moon energy, which can hit people early or later or whenever because we're all different, is asking you. When you feel it, it's asking you to take a beat, saying it's time to regroup and take a beat. Honor that. Listen to that. Okay? All right. Excellent. Fantastic. Love it. Let's do a quick card. Let's see what we got. As it serves our highest and greatest good and highest and best way. I always like to go through the whole deck, even if a card just flies out. Ooh, and they usually fly out. Okay, this is such a Capricorn card. It's the Ace of Coins, baby. It is the Ace of Coins. Look at that. What's that say to you? That's money. That's money. That's money. That's prosperity. That's wealth. Okay. That is a Capricorn card. This is reinforcement. This is reinforcement of what we're already talking about, which says honor thyself in all parts of yourself. And truly, truly, that is part of the wealth game. Do not think that wealth and abundance comes from masking. Do not think that wealth and abundance comes from playing someone else's game and fitting into someone else's system. Wealth and abundance truly, truly comes in a sustainable manner when we honor the full spectrum of who we are, because through that we gain knowledge and we gain full success. Okay? You don't want to be 30 and burnt out. You don't want to be 20 and burnt out because you've been playing somebody else's game, which absolutely fucking happens. Okay? It happened to me. Of course it happened to me. Because it's common. It's literally, that's what happens. So listen to this. Give yourself the opportunity of sustainable sense of success. All right? You deserve it. Honor yourself. Listen to what your body is telling you, what your mind is telling you, what your spirit is telling you. Part of that transparency with yourself is only going to set yourself up for success. All right? So there you go. All right, you guys, I love you. You're amazing. You're awesome. You are already perfect, and you got this. All right, talk to you later. Bye.